Hey, it's Tom Judd, Global CE Day, and I'm delighted to have with me Roberto Ayala, longtime friend and colleague from Mexico, who's the interim director of Cenotech. Wow, Roberto, tell us about what's going on, brother.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you, and everyone that is listening. Well, yeah, we are taking charge of the direction of Senatec. It's been a great honor, and well, that obviously added to the already busy agenda in conducting biomedical engineering area. It's really a great pleasure, and well, we are moving forward. That is the only way to do so.
Tell me about some of the responsibilities these days of Cenotech and the Ministry of Health Mexico.
Sure. Well, yeah, certainly there is an interesting breakpoint right now in our country, given that our Ministry of Health wants to make a re-engineering of this structure, and there are several movements, including that of the National Health Regulatory Agency that is going to respond to sub-minister of health, and well, everybody is expecting some interesting changes in that. Indeed, it's all about to strengthen the rectory of the health ministry in all different areas, and of course that Celetec wants to provide all the help required in order to strengthen health technology management and health technology assessment. So
Sure.
we're working on that. We are starting talking with WHO and PAHO in order to confirm our interest in keeping as a collaborating center in both of those areas.
Very good. Well, you've been around biomedical engineering, clinical engineering in Mexico a long time, Roberto. How do you see the status of clinical engineers in Mexico today?
Well, thankfully, getting uh, covering more hospitals, and I think getting stronger is obvious, and I think that is something as a secondary effect of this tragedy of this pandemic that clinical engineering uh, got an interesting place because of the importance of keeping all of the medical equipment needed to support the patients with COVID. And I think that was just the first step in starting to get it more noticed in the hospitals. And not only that, I think that also this pandemic sparked a hidden, I believe, interest in clinical engineers in innovate, in getting hands on trying to make their own technology. And at least in Mexico, that was something that was really needed. In trying to start building our own technology. So that's something also as a very interesting side effect that clinical engineers are getting more and more, every time more involved in development of new technology.
Roberto, I remember, several webinars we've had this year where yourself and others from your country have spoken. I'm thinking about you speaking about health technology management best practice back in March and talking about, Cenotech's work with particularly the acute public hospitals, but moving towards primary care. Then, Ramsey's talking about innovation in ventilators, as you were just saying, back in July at our webinar. And then most recently, Lorena, who's now, at your Cofibris, your FDA there in Mexico, talking about also regulatory world moving into primary care. So how do you see all these trends coming together?
It's the idea is still there, and not because it's a trend, but because it's necessary and it's really important that we turn our strategies to primary care, because we all know that at least 80% of health problems can be solved at primary care. And in order to do so, our physicians need their tools, their medical equipment tools to be ready, to be accessible, and in order to help with that, clinical engineers have a very important role in that. But since primary care, you can solve problems in primary care at the distance. You need to be there. So we all are waiting anxiously for this pandemic to at least be less less dangerous, so we can go to the field. So we can go to the field and start working closely with the authorities, the health authorities in primary care in all of our country, so we can start building together the proper strategy to do proper health technology management. That is, as I said, really, really important if we want to achieve a, a, a quality and safe healthcare in these primary care units all around the country. We have more than 2,000 in the public sector along centers, medical centers, so in all of them. Uh, Obviously, not very complex medical equipment, but medical equipment at lesson. So even if they are simple, they need to be properly managed. So
Sure.
we are that so we can be close to those centers and help them in do this strategy regarding health technology management.
When I was talking a moment ago about, Mexico's contribution to, the global clinical engineering work, body of work, of course, I forgot one right down the hall from you there, Adrian Pacheco and his great work in telemedicine, telehealth for Mexico. And I know that's a strategy not only for your country, all around the world, that is part of the new normal. There'll be many more, telehealth visits. So I'm very thankful for what Senatech does in that area as well.
Yeah, we are very proud. Just a moment ago, we just finished precisely a webinar with participation of several telehealth leaders from countries of the Americas, and uh, we are glad to hear that they follow Senate leadership in that area as well. And you're right. Sometimes I'm a little egocentric regarding clinical engineering, but at the end, my colleague does clinical engineering as well, but in the telehealth area, and that's also very, very important. And that's something that Senatech also has contributed, I think, a lot, not only in at national level, but also helping other countries as well.
All across the Americas. So in closing, I know you've been a part of the National Society for a long time, and I know there's some different groups, but SOMIB has been so important. Can you just comment on how they're supporting the work of clinical engineers around the country?
Yeah, well, it's as I think that anywhere around the world, it's important that we have a professional association, a professional group that support our job. And both of our national organizations, some one of them, Biomedical Engineering College, as the other one, are doing a great job in putting in the public eye the importance of the profession. Let's remember that biomedical engineering covers a different areas of support for healthcare, innovation, development, other areas. Clinical engineering just as one of them. So they are doing a terrific job in covering all of these areas, promoting a lot of educational efforts. So uh, uh, all the students can have also a good perspective what to expect once they are in the field. Let's remember that right now in the country we have more than 12,000 students having a biomedical engineering bachelor degree, studying a bachelor degree in biomedical engineering. So that's a lot of people, that's a lot of professionals, that they better be well prepared in order to support this important role in whatever area of biomedical engineering they choose to contribute. So they are
Well, that,
doing a great job, and we are happy to make coordinate with them in order to support those efforts.
well, it sounds like that's kind of your closing comments about inspiring this next generation of young engineers in your country, and we're so glad for your work.
Yeah, absolutely. It's great that all these young Mexicans are interested in this beautiful profession, and we better make our job very professional and ethically and ethically because they are looking after. Yeah,
Well,
I'm
Roberto,
very
I
happy about it.
remember 1993 when I met you. So it's
That's a lot of you.
thank you for your contribution over a long time.
No, thank you to you, and thank you, and thank you really for all your efforts for conducting so great this important division from the Federation. Thank you very much, and have a great and happy clinical engineering day.
You too, brother. Thank you. Bye
Thank
for
you to you.
now.